In this book, the Hardys distract their Aunt Trudy by telling their mechanic to ask her out on a date. It's funny, but I still think it's weird the mechanic knows they're secret agents when Mom doesn't. Like, one of the Hardy Boys is a minor. His parents should be informed about ATAC.
Argo Funk Book Review. Argo Funk Book Review.
We start with the Hardy Boys getting a visit from Captain Creamy, the ice cream salesman. He has a package for them, and it's obvious he's an ATAC agent. Every time a stranger shows up at their house in Chapter 2, it's an ATAC agent. This happens in pretty much every single book, but Frank and Joe are bad at pattern recognition, so they have no idea what's going on. They yell at Captain Creamy to go away, and he keeps mentioning America in every sentence, like he's running for president or something. Eventually, he just gives them the mission disc and leaves. Today's mission is to prevent a madman from destroying Niagara Falls with a dam. As usual, ATAC has no idea who's behind the plot or why. There are two obvious problems with this mission. Number one, the Niagara Falls mystery is clearly a job for Canadian teams against crime, not American teams against crime. Number two, it takes a long time to build a dam. There is no way someone could build a secret dam at Niagara Falls overnight without the police noticing. The Hardys arrive at Niagara Falls just in time to see someone jump into the river. The Hardys jump in and save him from dying. The man is Peter Nutt, and he's a real nut. He's an author who went insane because of a book about poop. I'm not joking, that is 100% in this book. As it turns out, the Niagara Falls dam case was solved a year ago, so the Hardys came all the way out here for nothing. That's when Dad calls. He's allergic to talking about important things over the phone, so he orders Frank and Joe to return home right away. So the Hardys are forced to do 2 8-hour drives in a row after a half-hour break. Ouch. They arrive home at 6 a.m. where they see a newspaper about school vandalism. They're mad because they don't have any quarters to buy the newspaper. I guess the Hardys don't know you can get news stories on the internet because they're forced to get the information from their buddy, Chet Morton. I'm not gonna lie, the Hardys are total jerks to Chet in this chapter. They're supposed to be friends, but they wake him up early, call him a 70s nerd, and steal his food. That's mean. The Hardys meet Chet at school, along with Iola Morton and Callie Shaw. This book is the only time Iola and Callie appear in this series. In every other book, they don't exist and never get mentioned. I wonder if they were shoehorned into this book due to fan outrage over the fact that the girls were dropped from this series. If so, could we change Aunt Trudy back to Aunt Gertrude? Spinster aunts don't need cute nicknames. Please and thank you. Back to the vandalism. Someone broke school windows, ripped up the field, and stole food from the cafeteria. The Hardys decide to investigate later, when the girls aren't there. What was the point of bringing the girls into this book, then? The Hardys find Captain Creamy, whose ice cream truck doubles as a coffee truck, because of course it does. It also doubles as a spy truck. Captain Creamy says he accidentally gave the Hardys the wrong mission. Their real mission is to go to the Football Hall of Fame and discover who stole the original Super Bowl trophy. The next 2 chapters are the earlier chapters on repeat. Frank and Joe have trouble convincing Mom and Aunt Trudy to let them go. They almost die in an action scene that's unrelated to the main story. And it turns out the mission is a fake. There's no mystery for them to solve here. Back at home, Dad shows off a flashlight microwave. I have no idea why ATAC is building microwaves shaped like flashlights, but it should be obvious by now that ATAC is rather dysfunctional. Dad says the school saboteur has struck again. This time they attack the bus yard. We search the area with Chief Collig and Con Riley. Because we went out of our way to confirm the Hardy girlfriend still exists in this series, might as well confirm the Hardy police friends still exist too. We're not going to confirm if Tony Preto or Biff Hooper exist in this universe, though. Forget those guys! At the bus yard, the Hardys find a homeless man named George Guthrie. George is suspicious because he was found at the crime scene, and he has mental health issues. Not like the nut who went crazy over a poop book. That was a joke character. George's mental health issues are legitimate. We can't have a hometown mystery without the Hardys' new nemesis, so Brian Conrad is there. Brian Conrad is always there. We get some insight as to why Brian is such an awful person. Namely, his mother is an abusive drunk who constantly yells at him. Now I feel kinda bad for Brian. A school bus catches fire while George is inside. The Hardys break in and save him. With his dying breath, George reveals the culprit is Captain Creamy. Frank and Joe are shocked that an ATAC agent went bad. Me? I'm shocked by his motive. Why did the ice cream man destroy every school in town? It's because he wanted an extra week of summer vacation to boost his ice cream sales. Do kids really buy that much ice cream that 1 week of sales is worth killing someone over? If anything, I think he makes more money selling coffee to adults than ice cream to kids. The Hardys tell Dad and the police, but for some reason they're not interested in following up on every lead, so Frank and Joe are forced to go it alone. They break into the Captain Creamy ice cream building. Captain Creamy tries to kill them by shoving them into a vat of Rocky Road ice cream. It looks like our heroes will freeze to death until they use the flashlight microwave to melt all the ice cream and escape. Captain Creamy is arrested, and ATAC does absolutely nothing to improve its screening procedures. The end. Post-book follow-up. This book raises some questions about how ATAC operates. It's well established that mission discs are one use only. After you watch one, it reformats into a music CD. Yet Captain Creamy has a pile of old mission discs sitting in his truck. How? Those discs shouldn't exist anymore, since they're one use only. Frank gives a nonsense explanation about a processing plant. Like ATAC's budget is so small, they have to reuse CDs all the time. Whatever. ATAC needs a better system to ensure that the right people get the right missions. And that shouldn't be very hard, considering that Frank and Joe appear to be the only secret agents in town. Maybe they could encrypt their discs with a password? At one point, Dad checks in with ATAC to see why Captain Creamy gave the Hardys 2 bad missions. ATAC responds by saying Captain Creamy works for them. Not helpful, ATAC! Dad is the founder of ATAC, so it's extra strange he couldn't get any more information than that. He should have contacted Captain Creamy's distributor immediately, but I guess he didn't, because then there wouldn't be a mystery to solve. I know, it probably sounds like I hate this book, but no, I liked it. It was fun. It had a nice pace, cool action sequences, a surprisingly deep insight into Brian Conrad's life, and I was glad to see the return of fan-favorite characters from the previous Hardy Boys series. It's too bad this wasn't one of the 4 opening books for the series, since it's better than Joe has a crush on cartoon toddlers. I'm going to rate this book highly, but I'm going to take off a point for an incompetent ATAC and a ridiculous motive. I give Hardy Boys Undercover Brothers number 5, Rocky Road, an 8 out of 10.